Hello, the language learners from all over the world. This is Mohibullah Mohib. I am a student of English literature and linguistics. Today, I am here to say something about very common thing, and we can also say this is very special because we can't ignore that, avoid that, and reject that at all. Why? Because this is the only thing you have to follow to be good speaker. And most of the time, people ask me these questions that we practice, we study a lot, we are learning many things, rules, regulations, many things, blah, blah, blah. But we can't be good speaker. What is the reason? Okay, we will talk about the problems and some solutions, tips and tricks. But before that, we need to understand the reason very clearly. Sometimes we see some people speak very naturally with good fluency, without interruption, without thinking a lot. They are smiling and they are speaking like that. This is very easy. How they can do that? And we are not able to do so. What is the problem? Okay. But we know about that language, rules, regulations, grammar, many things we know. And sometimes you will ask them that, okay, tell me something about these rules and regulations. They can't answer because they don't know, but they speak very well with 100% correction. How they do that? Okay, the main reason is we have two things. One is language acquisition and one is language learning. What is language acquisition? Language acquisition means you are achieving the language without knowing the grammar, rules, and regulations. You just need to feel that language, you just need to understand that language expressions that if I want to say this, I need to use this language. You don't know the grammar, you don't know the rules, regulations. Better to put some effort to practice that rather knowing all the rules and regulations. But in terms of learning a language, you have to understand the structure of that language, rules and regulations. So, language learning is very necessary when you are going to participate in any examinations, formal education, educational examinations, or any test of language related. But before that, you really need to speak a language because without speaking a language, how will you pass the examination? So, you need to speak very well at first. And we are just learning the language. That's why now we know about many things about that language, but we are not capable enough to speak fluently. The languages don't come to us naturally. All the things you need to do, you need to now acquire that language. Try to learn how to acquire a language. You need to follow the process of acquisition of a language. You see, the child can acquire a language without knowing a lot of grammar. That's why the language is so natural to them. That's why they can speak like that. When you are very familiar, your brain are very familiar with that language, you don't need to think of a lot of grammar. Even you can see when you try to speak, you can't think of many rules and regulations that you have already learned. You can't think of them. Nobody can do that. Nobody also do that. This is not the process. This is not the things that people do when they speak. They speak without thinking of any rules and regulations. They sometimes speak in their dream, and in their dream they can't think of the grammar, rules and regulations. So all the things you need to do, yes, we are learning that language for a quite long time. Now we need to acquire this language. Now you need to know that how you can be very natural or you can acquire a language. You need to put yourself in an environment, natural communication environment. What is natural communication environment? That means you need to put yourself in a communication conversation with your partners, with your friends, or in your real life situation. All the languages that you have already accumulated, you need to practice in your real life situations without using them again and again in your real life situation. You never be natural, habituated, acquainted with that languages, and the languages never will be very natural to you, and they also don't come to you naturally. So from today, stop thinking a lot about the problems. Just collect the languages from the original sources, because being original is also necessary. So find out the sources from where you can earn some language, you can achieve some language, and this accumulated language you need to practice in front of mirror. If you don't have any partner, or if you have partner, use with your partner in your real life situation. When you are eating, you speak something in your mind, or if there is suitable environment, you can speak loudly. But speaking loudly is the best option of practice English speaking, and listening from the good speaker or native speaker or the authentic source is the best option of learning a language. Your all the muscles, all the organs will work then. Whenever you are listening, your brain, your ear are working. Whenever you are reading, your brain are working. That means they are eating some language, and you have something, then you can say something. So you need to consume the language in this process, and you need to come out all the languages from your mouth to practice of speaking. Those things you need to follow, my friends. That's all for today. Thank you for having patience. Pray for me. Have a nice life. Bye bye.